When you think of Snapchat, the last thing you would associate it with is a horror story, besides maybe private pictures being leaked. It was almost a year ago now. I was a senior in high school, and I was Snapchatting a few different people at my kitchen table at 10 o'clock. My parents had already gone to sleep. I got a notification from Snapchat that said, "Snapchat from Hector." I did not know anyone by the name of Hector, so right away it was weird. I should mention that I'm a guy, so it's not like random creeps snapping me for pictures or anything like that is a common occurrence. I didn't want to open it right away because then whoever this was might think I was available for some kind of conversation. A whole half hour went by, and I completely forgot about the snap. That is, until I got another one from this Hector person. This time, I opened it right away. The first snap was taken in a really dark room, and somebody's face was just barely in the picture, though it was way too dark to give a clear description of the person. All I could tell was the person was a bit darker skinned. The next picture was taken outside, facing a road. It took me a while to catch on because of the darkness and the graininess of the photo, but there was an arm pointing down the road. I typed, "Who is this?" in the chat. The message was read instantly, but there was no reply. The guy added me, so I added him back. His Snapchat score was literally 5, and he watched all my Snapchat stories. 5 minutes passed before I got another Snapchat from this Hector guy. I opened it right away. This time, it was a picture taken in the middle of the street. However, I recognized the street he was on. He was only 2 blocks away from my house. Again, I typed, "Who is this?" I knew it was one of my friends messing with me on some kind of throwaway account. I texted a few of my friends who I thought might be doing it. They all promised it wasn't them, but they all found it really funny. I got a 4th Snapchat from this Hector person. I found myself getting more and more nervous opening each one. I waited a few seconds and then opened the snap. It was a picture of my block, taken by the old lamppost on the corner. My good friend who lives 2 doors down came over because I was freaking out and wanted him there. He's a big dude, so him and I could take on any one person. We sat on my couch with the TV on in the background, staring at my phone, waiting for another snap from this guy. Sure enough, a notification popped up with Hector's name on it, and my friend got excited with laughter. I was too nervous to find humor in it. He told me to take a screenshot this time. When I opened the snap, the picture was of my house. It was taken from the front yard. I took the screenshot and we both jumped off the couch and ran to my front door to look outside. We couldn't see anyone, so we both put our shoes on and checked outside. I told my friend to stay in the front and I checked the backyard. On my way to the backyard, I got another snap from Hector. I opened it immediately once again. This time, the picture was of the back door to my house. Before opening the gate, I yelled for my friend to come around back, which in hindsight I could now see was a mistake. As soon as I opened that gate, I saw somebody already running for the gate on the other side of the yard. My friend and I chased after whoever it was, but it was way too dark to see anything out in the streets. This Hector guy got away. My friend hung out for another hour or two, and after he left, I went to bed shortly after. Of course, I was rolling around in bed for over an hour, in the back of my mind waiting for another notification to go off on my phone saying, "Hector sent you a Snapchat." Eventually, everything faded to darkness, and the next thing I remember was waking up the next morning. The first thing I did was check my phone. There were 3 notifications throughout the night, each saying Hector sent me a Snapchat. It took me a while to finally press the button to see the pictures. All 3 of the pictures were of different windows of my house, the 3rd one of my bedroom. I blocked the user and even went as far as to email Snapchat support to report the guy, to which I got some copy-pasted response like, "Thank you for your email, we take these matters very seriously," and so on. They proved to be of little help, even when I followed up on the matter a week later. I would normally assume whoever did this was a friend, acquaintance, or just some person I barely knew from my grade. but judging by the little bit of skin I saw in the photos and the username, this person was Hispanic, and there weren't any Hispanic kids in my school. It still freaks me out to this day, wondering who the hell this Hector person actually was, how he knew me, my Snapchat username, and my address.
If you hit that like button, there's a good chance someone else's spine will get tingled by these stories.
This is a short but terrifying story of something that happened when I was Snapchatting a friend. I'm pretty young, only 13 and still in middle school. A girl I really liked had just recently started snapping me selfie pictures, and we started messaging each other for a few nights. One night, when I was watching TV, she sent me a snap of herself lying in bed without a caption. I sent a message saying, "What's up?" She sent another identical picture, this time with a caption saying, "Not much, you?" She set the timer to 10 seconds, so it gave me plenty of time to analyze the picture, including her bedroom in the background and the dark outline of a person standing by her window. I quickly sent a response message saying, "Is that your brother by the window?" She sent another identical snap, this time captioned, "What do you mean?" In this picture, the figure at the window was closer, and I could see a hand pressed up against the glass. I closed the snap before the timer even ran out so I could tell her quicker. I said, "There's somebody at your window, turn around." She opened the snap almost immediately, and then I didn't hear from her again on the app. I grew more and more worried as the minutes passed. I texted her a few times to no avail. I tried calling her a few times, but there was no answer. I didn't know her house phone number, otherwise I would have called her parents. It wasn't until midnight when I was finally lying in bed that she finally texted me back. She explained the whole situation. As soon as she looked at her window and saw the person standing there, she screamed. That caused the person, who turned out to be a 20-something-year-old man, to open the window and jump into her room. From there, she ran to her parents' room and woke her dad, who entered her room to find nothing but an open window. It wasn't exactly a personal story of mine, but it freaks me out nonetheless, knowing that the only thing that saved my friend from whatever could have happened was the fact that I was able to see the window through her selfies, unbeknownst to the creeper at the window. I used to use Snapchat a lot last year and the year before. The story takes place the summer of 2015, when I was 14 years old. I would Snapchat this one friend of mine regularly. We were both on each other's best friends lists. I'll call him Ben for this story. One night, he hadn't snapped me in a while, so I sent him a funny picture. He didn't open it for a while, so I sent him another funny photo of myself. Coincidentally, I happened to be in the app when I saw that he finally opened them. Usually he would respond within a minute, but this time he didn't respond at all. I decided to text him instead, saying, "What's up?" I got a read receipt within the minute. No response though. I didn't know what was up with him or if I did something to piss him off, but I wasn't going to beg him to respond to me. So I put my phone down and focused on something else. Eventually, I started having a conversation with one of my other friends through text, and somehow Ben's name came up. My friend mentioned that Ben had lost his phone. I made sure my friend was absolutely certain that Ben was still missing his phone, and he said yes. I called Ben's house phone number. His dad picked up. I asked to speak with Ben, and Ben himself confirmed he was missing his phone. I told him somebody had his phone because they were opening his Snapchats and reading texts. He freaked out and told me to come over, but I really didn't want to. I told him I'd message them asking to return the phone. I sent a bunch of texts to the person. It said read for every single one of them, but I didn't get a text back. Instead, I eventually received a Snapchat from Ben's phone. I opened it, and it was a picture of a really weird-looking guy with a huge smile on his face. The caption was, "Coming over." I called Ben once again to make sure he didn't have either of our addresses on his phone. To my dismay, he had both of our addresses on his phone. I received a text from the guy while I was on the phone with Ben saying, "You're good looking." Ben didn't have Find My iPhone enabled, so he couldn't even try to track this creep. That night, I woke up at some ungodly hour, I'd say 3 a.m. I wasn't sure if something had woken me up or not, but I was somewhat positive that I thought I saw some kind of light just as I woke up. I sat up and rubbed my eyes, realizing it was really, really hot in the room, which was weird considering we had the AC on. As I turned to my window, an unexpected white flash of light filled the room, and I felt a sharp pain in my eyes which had become adjusted to the dark. I struggled to reopen my eyes, but when I could, I saw that my window had been opened and someone was leaning half of their body into my bedroom with a camera in their hands. I screamed like a little girl in what was undoubtedly the most nightmarish moment of my life. It was the man from Ben's Snapchat. He struggled to squeeze himself back out the window, but managed to escape before my parents could enter the room. We contacted the police that same night and had them track the phone. They found the man in a house 2 miles away and arrested him. Ben got his phone back, and I got peace of mind knowing the creep would be behind bars.
Thanks for listening. If you want to help build the True Chiller community, like, subscribe, and share.